PBZ Sports Chaos, and we got another show with PB in the house, in the man cave. Yeah, baby.
We're here together for the first time in 2 years.
Yeah. Hey, and guess what? We're going to do our NHL hockey preview tonight. Get ready for this. I know the season's already started. We're about 3 games in, 4 games in, but get ready for this. You ready, PB?
Oh, we love hockey season, and we're going to do it. We're going to bring you, we always bring you, we hit hockey every year, don't we?
We do.
We hit it. We nail it. So, hey, if you're into betting under overs, if you're into betting who's going to make the playoffs, this is where you want to be.
So PB is our hockey man, you know that fan, so I'm going to let him kind of drive the bus. I'll set him up as I always do. I like to put it on the tee. So PB, take us away in the East, starting with the Atlantic, the Atlantic Division. What do you like there?
Yeah, so of course, you know, I've been watching the Panthers a lot lately. I get to go to like 7, 8 games a year, and I think that team's got it going on. And they picked up Taychuk this year.
Yes,
right?
yes.
They got Taychuk. They lost Huberdeau.
Yes.
But still, they're in a good position. They've been playing well. The Bruins took care of business, though. They smoked them not too long ago. But then what did the Flyers do? Everyone was hyped on Philly. Everyone thinks Philly's going to be good this year. Philly comes into Florida. Florida freaking smokes them in their first game. So I like the Panthers, and I think the Panthers right now are probably the most favorite team in Vegas to win that division. So, you know, as much as I love my Bees, I got them finishing in the top part of that division. But I'm going to go with the Panthers as the #1 team in that division.
All right, give me your 3 division East Atlantic Division teams.
And then I got Boston right behind them.
In second.
I got Boston in second.
Wow.
Yeah, I like the way Boston's playing. They're off to a great start.
They
right?
are, yes.
They look good. And the window is kind of short for them, wouldn't you say? Like, they're going to win now. They're going to win in the next year or 2, wouldn't you say?
Well, people, I'll say this. They're off to a great start, but that's because it's early in the season. They get a lot of older veteran players. I want to see how they do in April.
Right. And goaltending. And goaltending's another question mark with that team, right?
Yes. Yeah,
it's not like, I mean, right now, by the way, we mentioned the Florida Panthers, the #1 paid goaltender in the league. Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight.
Okay.
Spencer Knight just
right.
got a huge deal.
All right.
And, you know, we all know Spencer Knight from
BC!
Boston College, BC boy, right?
Yep.
Those two right now are the highest paid goaltending tandem in the NHL.
Okay.
So, I mean, like you said, when it comes down to the playoffs, it's all about goaltending, which is why I have the Panthers ahead of the Bees. So
who you got in third?
Bees. And then in third, I got the Leafs. I think the Leafs, but for Leafs fans, I'm sorry to say this. I don't think we have any Leafs fans, right? We don't have any Canadian followers at this point. But
well, I am from Canada.
They're like the Boston Red Sox of the 80s and 90s, right? Every year they just tease you enough to get you a little bit excited, and then they fall off a cliff when it comes to the playoffs. But I think they'll tease you again this year. They'll finish third.
All right.
And I'll hold my wild card for later. So I got Panthers, Bees, Leafs.
All right, give us your Metro.
Metro, I think the Rangers. They're looking really good. I mean, they picked up Trocheck from the Canes, which I think was a good pickup.
Okay.
They got Halleck now, the goalie, right? The goalie for the Bruins. They have Halleck as their goaltender now, so they have 2 goalies that can really bring it every night.
Yep.
So I got the Rangers finishing first. Canes, I think a lot of people are high on the Canes this year. I think ESPN maybe even has them as the top #1 ranked team. So I think the Canes are right there, but I think the Rangers are going to oust them this year. So I got the Canes coming in second, and then for third, I got the Penguins. I know you're a big fan of the Penguins. You like the Penguins.
I do. I
got the Penguins as my 3 team.
I do.
All right. So those are my 3, and then my 2 wild cards.
All right, give us the wild cards.
My 2 wild cards.
I got a wild card going.
My 2 wild cards are the Lightning and the Capitals. Which I think if you look at those 8 teams, I think it might be the same 8 teams that made the playoffs last year. I don't think there's much difference there, but they're all bringing back their teams pretty much. Okay. So that's why.
All right, before we get into the West, and then we'll do who we get going to the Stanley Cup Finals after that. Here's what I got. I ranked them 1 to 8 in each conference.
Okay.
I got Carolina #1, which means they win the Metro.
Okay.
So I bit the ESPN juice. I drank the Kool-Aid, ESPN. I take Toronto #2, which means they win the Atlantic.
Okay, I had them in there. I mean, those are 2 teams I had.
I do have the Rangers 3rd, right? So the Rangers are in the Metro, right? I got Panthers 4th in the Atlantic. I got Lightning 5th in the Atlantic.
So you didn't have those a wild card.
So I've got 3 of the top 5 coming from the Atlantic. I've got the Caps, believe it Metro seed.
All right, and I have third.
I got the Penguins as number 7 in the wild card position, and the Bruins in the wild card position.
Wow. So interesting enough, we have the same 8 teams.
Yeah, we do.
I think those 8 teams are pretty much a lock if you think about it, right? It just matters. It just comes down to the order that they all finish. So
yes, it does. We love the order of the assembly. All right, let's do the West. What do you got from the West? Let's talk out in the Central first.
All right. So I got the Avs. I mean, they're kind of like the defending Stanley Cup champions. So you can't really go wrong.
And they
there
didn't
with
lose
the Avs.
much, right?
And they didn't lose anything, right? So as a matter of fact, what do we got? The Stars. I have a second team.
Okay.
I know it's a little high on the Stars.
Whoa, you do? Really?
Yeah. And I think they're off to a good start. The Blues.
Okay.
Who are finishing third in that division.
Okay.
And then Nashville Predators would be my wild card out of that division.
Ooh, interesting. All right. Give me your Pacific.
Yeah, so Calgary for me right now is my number 1 team. They could be my number 1 team overall. I think Calgary, with the addition of Huberdeau, they got Huberdeau from the Panthers in that trade.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
For Taychuk, and they also got Kadri from the Avs.
Ooh, yes.
Right?
Yes,
so those two
yeah,
additions, and that team was already, they were the number 1 seed, I think, in the West last year, right?
Yep.
So now you're talking about a team that was already the number 1 seed. That,
a lot of people are high on them, very high on them.
And I think I have them as the number 1 team in the West. Edmonton second because they're just a great team, and I think they'll be there. Vegas, I know you pick Vegas every year.
I do.
And then my wild card, interesting little ad here, the Seattle Kraken in their second year.
Oh!
I got the Kraken in the wild card spot, so those are my 8 from the Western Conference.
All right. As I did with the East, I'm going to rank them in the West 1 to 8, tell you their divisions. Number 1, I got the Avalanche. They're coming from the Central. I'm with you on that one. Number 2, from the Pacific, I am taking the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay.
Connor McDavid, right?
Connor's, he's a stud.
Yes, he is.
He's a potential perennial MVP.
Yes.
Yeah.
Calgary is my number 3 team, also from the Pacific, so they come in second in the Pacific.
All right.
I've got the Minnesota Wild out of the Central in number 4, 2 in the Central, right?
All right.
I got the Blues out of the Central as number 5, so that's the 3rd Central team. I take Dallas as a wild card. I've got in Pacific, number 7, the Pacific team, Vegas is 7th.
Okay.
But theoretically, they would be 6, right? But this is how I rank them. 1 to 8. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So they're my 7th favorite. Obviously, it'll be ahead of the wild card, Dallas. And then I got Nashville as the other wild card.
And I had Nashville too. So it's the only team I have in that you don't is the Kraken. And who do I have in that you don't? The Blues. You have the Blues in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Who do you think makes the conference finals in the East?
Oh man, I hate to be a homer, but I really like the way the Panthers skate. I like the way they play hockey. And I think their longevity this year. I love that addition of Taychuk. I just think he's a player, and he'll go deep into the season. When you have a goaltending tandem like Bobrovsky and Knight that can just carry you into those later games when things start to wear down on teams, I like that combination. And they won the President's Cup last year.
They did.
And this year, I hope they don't win the President's Cup because we know what happens to the President's Cup. They lose. But I like the Panthers to kind of just win the division, not get the President's Cup. I think it'll come out of the West. I think someone like Calgary or the Avalanche or maybe Edmonton or whatever gets the President's Cup. So I think the Panthers this year could be in the Cup, and I'm going to pick them to be in the Cup.
Who do you got facing them in the East, though?
Man, it's hard not to just say the Avs are going to get back there again, right? I mean, but
who do you get them facing in the conference finals before?
The conference finals. The Rangers.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Rangers for real. So I got a Rangers-Panthers finals there.
PB does not get over the fact that Florida teams melt in April and May in the sun. They will not be there, brother. It's going to be Toronto. Yes, Toronto's playing the conference finals against the. I know I'm picking a New York team. I hate picking New York teams, but the Rangers are going to be in the conference finals in the East. All right, give me your West picks.
All right, well, we both have the Rangers there anyways. In the West, it's hard not to pick the Avs. I mean, the Avs repeated. They got their same team back. They should be there. So I'm going Avs, and I'm going against the Calgary Flames. the Calgary Flames, to me, with those two additions, with Kadri and with Huberdeau, I think that team has got a clear path to get into the final.
So you're going back door again, huh? All right. All right. I got, you know what? I got Avs playing Edmonton, which I think is a rematch of last year's finals, right? Conference finals?
Maybe.
I believe it is.
Okay.
And by the way, I got Rangers coming out of the East, going to the finals, Stanley Cup finals, Lord Stanley's Cup, and they're going to play the Avs.
All right, I'm gonna go opposite. I'm just gonna say Flames Panthers this year.
So you got a Canadian team finally making it to the Stanley Cup Finals since what? I forget. It's been a long time, right?
Yeah, and we're not gonna tell you who we're picking from there. We're gonna
wait. Hey, give me a quick pick. Conn Smythe, which is the MVP of hockey, correct?
Yeah, I no reason not to pick Connor McDavid right now. I mean, the guy's just an unbelievable player.
I got surprised. I got him for. I've got Connor Smythe for MVP or the Conn Smythe. Connor McKinnon. I mean Nathan McKinnon. Sorry,
Nathan McKinnon.
I've got the Hart Trophy being Connor McDavid.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, all right.
What do you think for the Vezina? That's the goalie award, fans, right, PB?
Yeah. I mean, I hate to be a homer, but I would love to see Bobrovsky just like step up and be the man this year. And you want to go to Tampa and you want to go to Vasilevsky and how he's a great goaltender. And we both have Tampa like hanging around and just being that kind of team that just annoys people all year long because of their goaltending, because of Vasilevsky.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I just think Bobrovsky is potentially the Vezina this year. So I'm going to go Bobrovsky.
All right, I've got Jake Ottinger from the Dallas Stars.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I read this someplace.
Okay.
Hey, the Calder Trophy, which is, I'm sorry, the Norris Trophy, the best defenseman. Who do you think?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Who you got?
To me, it's Cale Makar from the Avalanche.
Okay.
That dude he's a house, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right.
I'll align with you on that one because I think I got to get someone from the Avs.
And by the way, last thing, the Jack Adams Award, which is the Coach of the Year. I got a surprise for you. What would you think?
Coach of the Year. Well, thing is, we picked most of the teams we picked.
Yeah.
Were the same teams that were in the playoffs last year. The only team I think that I have that made the playoffs this year that didn't make it last year was the Kraken. So
okay.
So
the Kraken coach.
Yeah.
I got one for you, brother. Jim Montgomery, the main coach, comes home, wins it for the Bruins, takes him to your point, second place you had him in, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. There we go. PBZ Sportscast. That's a hockey show.
Let's go.
Yes, and we've been entertained tonight.